and welcome, dear parent of the Sagittarius child. How are you? I hope you're doing great. My apologies for getting this reading out late in October. It is the October reading, but it's quite late. I apologize, especially if you've been waiting for it. But I also would like to ask you, for those of you who have not yet subscribed, if you can please subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Also, please remember that this is not a gender-specific read, so please adjust gender to how it best resonates with you and your family and your kiddo. And also, I'm aware that many of you are here for various age ranges. So some of you are here for little itty-bitty ones. Others of you are here for teenagers, and others of you are here for everything in between. You are all welcome. Thank you for stopping by. So let's get started with the general energy here for October for Sagittarius. So a couple of things. Little Sagittarius here is growing into something new. You're going to notice a bit of a transition period here happening. I'm picking up a big puberty thing here for some of you. There's definitely something going on here in that area. I mean, that's always going on, right? Somewhere. But there's definitely some transition. The Death card is all about rebirth, transformation. In some cases, it's definitely about endings. But here, the Death card walks into the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So this tells me that you have a Sagittarius here, dear parent, who is growing into a different way of being. And this has their self-esteem here being elevated. The Ace of Pentacles is all about finding new source of joy in something and finding security and tangibility in something new. This can be a new friendship. This can be their own identity. It can be their new, maybe you're getting really good at something, some kind of course at school or a sport, or it can be anything, right? But basically, the Death card here, you're gonna notice kind of like your little Sagittarius. Again, it doesn't matter what age, shedding an old skin and going into something very new. Even, for example, let's say you have a little itty bitty one who all of a sudden you notice used to play with pink toys, for example. Random example, but let's take it. You have a little one who used to play with pink toys, and all of a sudden they're realizing, you know, I think I like big fire trucks, or I like whatever, something completely different. Or all of a sudden, I like this book. This book looks more interesting to me. And they're itty bitty, right? And still, in a little one, you can see some kind of transition happening. But in any case, whatever this transition is, it's leading them to a more content side of who they are. Okay, this is especially going to be important for the older kiddos, right? Those who are in teenage years, who are learning to work on, learning about self-worth, their value, their self-esteem, because Pentacles is always, as an earth element, always associated with our own inner security and how we see ourselves in the grander scheme of life. And so you see how proud he is. He's holding up that pentacle, the pentacle symbolizing that which is bringing him this groundedness. So again, the pentacle can be a new course that he or she is doing really well in, or his or her own identity, or the home he lives in, or the sport he's taken on, or the new ideals and the new knowledge he's come into, right? I also feel friendship here. I feel like you have some Sagittarian kiddos here who are learning how to be a little bit more open with friends, and that's making them feel good. There's something about that here. But in any case, whatever it is, it's new, and it has them shifting into something a bit more concrete for the long term. Okay, so let's move on to see what potential challenge here during the month of October. What's a potential challenge or conflict that little Sagittarius may be facing, here during the month of October? Very nice. Oh, Sagittarius is just being a cutie pie. Okay. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so In the conflict and challenge position, we got the Ace of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. So, couple of things here. This can play out one of two ways. The Ace of Swords is when we're really learning how to speak up for ourselves, or we're coming into new information, new intellectual information. It can be a book, it can be a form of study, it can be a new way of communicating, it can even be a new language, okay? And it's the beginning stages of this knowledge, right? A lot of times it's also about how we speak to others or how others speak to us. But usually it's about us and how we deal with this energy, right? And it's paired with Four of Pentacles, which is about holding on to, or maybe being a little greedy with, or maybe not wanting to share certain things, okay? And then if that's paired with the Eight of Wands, which is about moving forward with something, utilizing our raw energy with that information or that which we have in our hands. So a couple of things that could be happening here is, number one, Sagittarius could be withholding information, withholding that which what they are learning. And it could have something to do with either they just want it all for themselves. They're holding on to it. They're being very protective with this information, and even energetically just not letting it go, which is not really a Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius actually, is the informant, right? Like they like to tell people what they've learned and they like to teach. So this is an interesting energy. It could be because they're not yet feeling confident and comfortable in this new information that they're receiving. It could, though, also be what they are experiencing from another. It could be a friend. It can be classmates, potentially, like withholding information from little Sagittarius because they're just, for whatever reason, there's this energy of withholding from little Sag. But it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like it's heavy. It could just also be they're experiencing something very new. For like the older kiddos, for example, like the ones who are teenagers, there could be something here that they're still exploring about themselves. They're not really sure about it, because you see the Ace of Swords, you see how she's kind of holding it sort of like, okay, this is new knowledge I have, but I'm not really sure how to use this sword. Okay, so before I tell anybody about this new thing I'm learning, I'm going to hold it, keep it to myself, keep it energetically to me, with me, and only me, not send it off in the air, not message it, not put it on social media, again, depending on the age of your child. And they're sort of just going to live with it. Now, it doesn't seem like a terrible thing, right? However, from a Sagittarius perspective, and I know this is general, I know, but from a Sagittarius perspective, Sagittarians thrive in sharing information, right? Or sharing or talking about what they're learning, and sometimes maybe even like preaching. And again, it doesn't even matter what age they are. You see this early on in like 6, 7 year olds that they're already like, you know, talking about things that they're learning. So this could potentially be coming up in the challenge and conflict position, because it's probably most beneficial for your little one to share and talk about it. Okay, so just know that if there's something here they're kind of holding on to, or information, or maybe even it could potentially be being greedy with something with their siblings or their friends. Like maybe there is something that little Sagittarians could be teaching or showing or talking about, but they're being a little like, hogging information for whatever reason. Now that seems like a very mature, older energy. Again, it's going to play out differently. But this is good for you to be on the lookout, parent, because that's the point of these readings, right? Point of knowing a potential conflict is so that, you, the parent, can potentially come in and help navigate for the highest and most best benefit to your child. So with that said, let's see what Spirit's advice to you, dear parent, on how to navigate this. What's your advice, dear Spirit, for the parent of the Sagittarius child? I don't think this was. I'm going to put these back in. I'm sorry, that didn't feel like that was right. Let me do this again. Spirit, what is your advice felt right. That felt good. Okay, beautiful. Yes, yes. Okay, so there is an insecurity. That's what this is about. This confirms it. Okay, so the reason, okay, so Sagittarius is, they're not really talking about it because they're not feeling sure about it. Okay. And so the advice here is to help your little one assess his or her value, or assess their worthiness about something, whatever that is. Okay. Because here's the bigger little monster helping the little tiny monster reach the top pentacle here, right? And the Seven of Pentacles is all about assessing the results of our work, like really looking at our worthiness, the value that we've put into something. And here in this particular deck, the Seven of Pentacles has an older adult monster helping the little one see that. And here, your card is paired with the Emperor. So this is beautiful. This is about the adult. That would be you, your parent, or a teacher, or the other parent, reminding your little Sagittarius of all the work that they have already put into whatever this endeavor or thing or situation is. And it's okay, they can hold on to it as long as they want to, but also reminding them that maybe even talking about what they're learning, what they're doing, can help them integrate that knowledge even further, right? So there is a shakiness. They're unsure about something. There's something little Sagittarius is unsure, something about them, what they're learning. They're not really sure that they're good at it, or that they know how to explain it. So here you come in and you let them know that they are valuable, that they have this stuff, that they get it, that they understand it, that they know it, and that they're stable in it. And the Emperor is showing them their own authority in them, right? Or you as the authority showing them, hey, listen, you can do this. You know this stuff, right? You are an authority in this. You're learning to, um, find your own way through whatever this is that they're learning, because they're going through a transition here. This is whatever they're shedding old skin, right? So it's almost, I'm feeling like somebody, couple of your kiddos going through some major puberty transition, and there's this physical insecurity happening as well. So this is just reminding them that this feeling of insecurity is normal, that it's okay. It doesn't mean that it's real, that they're not, it doesn't mean that they're not good at it. It just means, it's okay to be a little insecure, and that reminding them of the work they put into it, why they're valuable, why they're worthy, and just shining the light on their own authority and their own leadership skills and their own ability to be talented and skillful. And again, it applies for any age. Okay. All right, dear parent, I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you back here in November. Bye.